Okay, that was a very quick happy birthday, kind of jazzy walking bass line. I do it in 4/4 instead of 3/4. I just kind of like it that way. So you could do a finger style, you could do a hybrid picking, but you need some individual digits to do that melody and the bass line together. Okay, so there's a PDF file, but some people asked me to go over it, so I will. Okay, so it starts out with this. I did some kind of B9 thing, I think. And then the pickup notes are, that's the happy part. And then that's the first measure. So it starts out with these two, actually it's double stop, these fourths, a fourth rather. So the C sharp on top, that's the melody note. That's what's making it the E6, as you can see there on the diagram. Then the scale, just a scale or a chord tone, that G sharp. So, and it's walking up, it's gonna get to that B into the next measure, and it's doing that by, so it's like E, scale note or chord tone, scale note, chromatic to get to the B, and to land there right on the first beat of that second measure. So we have, again, and then this little shell voicing of a B7, D sharp on top, that's the melody, B on the bottom, that's the bass note and the bottom of the chord, scale note, C sharp, these are the bass notes, you notice they're all down stem, D natural, just walking up to the D sharp, that's part of the chord, and playing the melody note against it. So now it's going to an F sharp minor 7, which it's just a substitute for the B7. You could actually, like if you're strumming, you could just keep playing that B7 through that, but F sharp minor 7 is a common sub for B7 in this key of E. So then it goes to this. One more time, a little cleaner. And I'm playing this whole F sharp minor 7 with one finger. Usually I do it with two, but I'm doing it with one, so I can hold that there and put my third finger on that G sharp while I hold that C, the rest of the chord in the C sharp, because that's the melody. After I do the G sharp, I play that B, that's the melody note, A, and then that B sus9. And notice this is all just scale notes out of the key of E on the bottom. So now this measure changes a little bit as far as the bass line goes. Almost like a boogie woogie, right? So the whole thing up to there. Now this next measure, maybe a little more movement, where it says E5 there. So a little more movement, and I don't want to say tricky, but I put the fingering there because it might make it easier. It's a little tricky, maybe. So the bass note goes down chromatically with the melody going on around it. And like I said, just notice the fingering there. It might make it easier. And now this A, I'm calling it an A sus sharp 4. So actually it's, you hold the chord and you have that D sharp going to the C sharp, that's your melody. And while you hold that chord, you play that G sharp on the bottom. And that's why you see that looks like one chord shape. It's just because you're holding this and playing that G sharp right after. So it really is that chord. So that's your last happy. Now that chord, that F sharp half diminished, kind of a stretch. If you want, you could just play, if that's easier, that's like an A minor 6, or it's still actually an F sharp half diminished, just different version. And also a D9 works there, if you want. So from the measure before that, it's going to sound like. Now this next measure, 4 chords, 3 are melody, and one's just sort of like a fill. C sharp minor 7. Again, all the melody notes going to be on top. So when I change from this to this, the C sharp minor 7 to the C7, my pinky does not move. And that top note there on the E, that's the melody. And then that F sharp minor 7 fill chord, it's like a shell voicing. And then the B9, melody on top. And then ends on the E. And then I have this tag here. The tag goes. Again, that's. I'm just reading it to make sure I say the right exact thing. So when you see those slurs, those are pull-offs. I didn't put a little P there, but just know those are pull-offs. So that's just a tag. If you want to do something like when you get to the end, whatever you want to do, that's fine. So anyway, so that's Happy Birthday with a walking bass. It's very short, but I thought it was kind of fun. And so maybe you might too. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. And till next time. All right, take care.